Well, I hope you're enjoying your lunch today. Thanks again for being here with Ramp. And this year we're going to do something a little bit different while you continue to eat and before we get to some of our guest speakers. This year we're going to have something new called auctioning. Maybe you're familiar with it. We're going to try to keep you awake after that incredible lunch. How about a nice big round of applause for Greenfire once again for the nice lunch? All the proceeds from our auction here will benefit Ramp and their services for individuals with disabilities. So get your programs ready, and you can use those to indicate your bid just by raising them in the hands really high. You make some noise. In fact, if you'd like to try that right now, grab that little book, hold it up. I can see it. If you have that, can you hear us? So there's one bid right there. That's $400. Thank you. Another one there. It's $500. That's how it works. Very similar. Don't worry, Bill. I won't hold you to it. So. Get your programs ready because we got all kinds of wonderful things to auction off, and we have spotters ready to go and standing by. We're going to start off nice and easy to get you warmed up. These large planter mums that you see here on the stage, 2 of these to 1 winner of this bid. So there's 2 sets of bids that are going to happen here. They say these are 12-inch multicolored mums, but they look like 4 feet. They are bigger than 12 inches. So we're going to start the bidding off at this incredible price of $30 for both of them. That's a steal because the mums on your table are $15. So if you want to start the bidding off at $30 for 2 sets of these mums, we're going to do the purple ones first. Let me hear you hold your hands up in the high. There's $30 right there. Do I have $40 anywhere? I have 30 on the floor looking for 40. There's 40. Do I have 45? Do I have 45 anywhere? 45 right there. How about 50? I'm looking for 50. There's 50. There's 55. How about 60? Do I have 60? I got 55 on the floor looking for 60. 55 on the floor looking for 60. 60 right there. Thank you very much. 65 to you. Thank you so much. How about 70 in the back? 70 in the back, way in the back. I saw you hold it up. Let's go 65 right here. Do I have 70 on the floor? Anyone with 70? I got 65 looking for 70. 65, there's 70. Thank you so much. You got 70. 75, still a steal. 75. Was that a hand? I wasn't sure what that was. 70 over there. 75, do I have 75? Anyone with 75? 70 on the floor, going once. 70 on the floor, going twice. 73rd and final call. Congratulations, you now own 2 big-ass mums. You get the purple ones, and you must take them to your table right now, so come and grab these. No, I'm joking. You don't have. You can leave them right there. So that's how it works. So on our second set of mums, the multicolored ones, we can start right there at $70. And if you match $70, you get to take those home. There's $70 right there. Anyone top 70? I got 70 right there. 75. 70 going once. 70 going twice. Sold. Congratulations. You own the other 2 mums. So thank you very much. Those are gorgeous. Our second and final live auction item is a very unique rooftop wine and tea party. This package includes a private rooftop event with indoor access to one of the coolest places in Rockford. I've driven by it many times. Always wondered who had that loft up top of that building where the former Subway was as you just get into downtown. It's a beautiful building, and thanks to owners Kyle and Marge Beavers, it's in the Richardson building. One of the oldest remaining buildings in downtown Rockford. That was built in 1957, by the way, they tell me. And Kyle and Marge are known for their artistic style and efforts to help revitalize downtown Rockford. And they're kind enough to offer this incredible space and furnishings for you to host a wine and tea party for up to 40 people. And the wine will be included because that's how we roll here at Ramp. They're going to be donated by Abreu, and also they'll include a case of wine, 6 white and 6 red, with a list value of $480 just for the wine. The package also includes the Vintage Goose Devonshire Tea Party package, suitable for up to 40 of your guests. Think about 40 of your guests. This could be a baby shower, a birthday party, an anniversary party. Heck, you can get married up there if you'd like. This is a very unique package. And it includes the 2 hours of silver service from Vintage Goose, unlimited tea, coffee, hot chocolate served in fine china, scones and jam, and, of course, the date scones, Irish butter, because what are scones without Irish butter and honey? White tablecloth, napkins. I'm telling you, this is an incredible package. You put it all together, it's valued at over $2,000. Again, it would make a great wedding, baby shower, special anniversary, or just because you work with a corporation and they're going to pay the bill for you. So let's get the bidding started. Do I have, say, $750 to start the bidding? $750 to start the bidding for a $2,000 package. $750. Was that you way back there? Thank you so much. $750 in the back. All right, how about 800? We'll do by 50. How about 800? Do I have 800 on the floor? I got 750 looking for 800. 750 is the bid looking for 800. Anybody with 800? 750? I'll do 775. 775 on the floor. Anybody with 775? Was that a hand right there? 775, thank you. Looking for 780. 780, anybody with 780 in the back? 780, thank you so much. 790, you want to do 790? 790 right here. Back to you. 800, thank you so much. We got 800. Anybody else want to jump in? We got 800, looking for 820. 820, got 800 in the back. You want 820? 800 going once. 800 going twice. Third and final call. This is a steal of a deal today. Congratulations, you got it. $800 for Ramp. Thank you. I would like to be on that list of your party invitees, because that's going to be a great night, I'm sure. Let's bring Amy Morris, our operating COO Development Director, to the podium to talk a little bit more and to introduce our next guest speaker.
Thank you. All right. Thank you, and once again, thanks so much for all of you being here today. I have the great pleasure to welcome and thank our sponsors today. Our premier sponsors, the Blazer Foundation, Collins Aerospace, WIFR 23, and WRAX 13. Our platinum supporters are Mercy Health, Plumbers and Pipe Fitters number 23, Humana, UW Health, and Quartz. Our gold supporters are ComEd, ITAC, Blue Cross Blue Shield, Benning Group, and WRAX. Our silver supporters are Morrissey, NICOR, and US Bank. And our bronze supporters are Center for Sight and Hearing, Milestone, German American National Bank, First Benefits Group, TCMF, Raymond James Compass Financial Group, Van Mater, Woodward, Aqua Aerobics Systems, Eckberg Insurance, YWCA, Widmer, and oh my gosh, I can't see this one. Oh, Heritage Woods, apologize for that. As you can tell, we've had a lot of excellent support for this year's luncheon. We thank you all for being here and for supporting us not only today, but throughout the year. Also, a couple other people that we want to mention is, of course, Steve Summers for emceeing today, as well as Edwards Apple Orchard out in Poplar Grove for the yummy donuts, and Minuteman Press, who is always very kind and willing to print all of our materials at a discounted rate for us. So if you could help me give them all a good round of applause. Okay, next I have the privilege of announcing the Director Circle members. The Director Circle is a group of donors who have a cumulative lifetime giving level of $2,500 or more to Ramp over the years. You would note that on your name tag, which I've lost mine, but if you have a gold star on your name tag, either you as an individual or your company is a part of the Director Circle, and I'd like to ask you to please stand or raise your hand to be recognized. We're all about new things this year, and another new thing we have going on this year is our t-shirt sales. We have our traditional that have been very popular Be Kind t-shirts that are for sale, and we also have a new design, which is something that was used for our Freeport Wheelathon back in the summer, and we had such a great response that we decided to make it available for sale. And these t-shirts are available through a QR code in the program, or you can go ahead and there's a table out in the entryway that you can purchase one with cash, check, or credit card today as well. All right, next I get to move on to the awards for today. And I'm going to ask, as our award recipients come up, if you could also step over to the side, and we'd like to get your photo here with your presenter and your award while you're here. And we have a few different people that will be coming up to present these awards. And I'm going to go ahead and get that started with the Supporter of the Year. I'd like to introduce the Supporter of the Year Award. This award recognizes a company, organization, or individual for their outstanding dedication to supporting Ramp and individuals with disabilities in our community. While this award designates them as a Supporter of the Year, it is essential to acknowledge that their unwavering support goes back to 1993. quite possibly even sooner, but that's when our database started, and I did not go out to the basement and bring up all the binders to see what the support was before that, but I do know that they've been with RAMP since the very beginning. Their support has manifested in many different forms, including financial contributions, employee engagement, active participation in committees, representation on our board, and perhaps most significantly, their invaluable services they offer to patients, many of whom are embarking on a journey towards independent living after life-altering experiences. Throughout this year, their commitment has been exemplary. Not only have they attended every one of our fundraising events, but has also initiated their own Be Kind t-shirt fundraiser at their company. And moreover, they have taken full advantage of RAMP's on-ramp training to educate their staff on issues related to disability awareness, ableism, and poverty. It is my great pleasure to announce this year's Supporter of the Year award to Van Mater and Compass Health. Van Mater and Compass Health. And Laura McAndrew is also a new member of our board. She didn't get to vote on this, by the way. Thank you very much. And if you want to step over here, we'll get a picture. I'll be right there. And next, I would like to welcome Eric Brown, who has the mayor on speed dial, to give you the Advocate of the Year winner.
Good afternoon. My name is Eric Brown. I'm the one that has the mayor on speed dial. I am the Systems Advocacy Coordinator here at RAMP, and it is my honor today to recognize Advocates of the Year. The Advocate of the Year award is awarded to an individual or organization who ensures the rights and voices of individuals with disabilities are heard and respected in society. This year, the agency that we are going to recognize has been long collaborative partners of ours, whether it's through our joint advocacy committee or the work that they are doing in the community to serve and lead for folks experiencing mental illness. The Advocate of the Year award goes to NAMI Northern Illinois.
Laura, I forgot to ask you if you wanted to say a few words. I'm really sorry.
I would love to.
Yes, come back up, and we'll have.
I'll go first.
Yes, please.
Thank you so much. Thanks, Eric. I'm going to set that right there for a moment. Hello, everyone. There's a lot of people here.
That's why I was nervous. It's not Laura.
I just want to say thank you to Eric and everyone here at RAMP. And if I have any NAMI volunteers, board members in the audience, could you stand or raise your hand or make yourself known, please? Thank you. So we're absolutely thrilled to receive this award. It's such an honor for our volunteers, board, and staff to be recognized for their hard work and dedication to building better lives for people living with mental illness. At the heart of our mission lies a passion to bring hope and healing to others and to strive to create a world where mental health is prioritized, understood, and embraced. We are grateful to everyone who has and continues to support us along the way, and RAMP has proven time and time again to be a committed partner in this work. Ramp's unwavering dedication to creating an inclusive and accessible community is truly inspiring. You're making a profound difference and impact in the lives of individuals from all walks of life. We're incredibly grateful for your tireless work and the positive change you're bringing to our community. This award is not just a symbol of achievement, but also a reminder of the opportunities that lie ahead. We promise to continue to break down barriers and build a community that supports and empowers everyone's mental health journey. Thank you again. Thanks, Eric.
Thank you. Yes. All right, Laura, come on up. Your special moment. I'm so sorry that I forgot you. And as Laura's coming up, if we could have our next presenter come on up. Let's see. Jana, I believe that is you, if I'm not mistaken. Can't see because I don't have my glasses on. Who's got the agenda in front of them? Oh, Abby Franklin, if you want to work your way up here as well, please.
I promise I'll keep this brief, everybody, since this is my first time attending this. I didn't know if it was respectful or appropriate, so when Amy shuffled me to the side, I just thought, yep, that's how we do things here. No problem at all. I'm just happy to be here. At Van Meter and Compass, we're honored to accept this and grateful for the opportunities that we've had to partner this year with RAMP, both within the hospital and throughout the communities we mutually serve. Joining us today, we have 8 Van Meter team members who have worked the closest with RAMP this year. But really, we have so many more at the hospital who consider themselves advocates for this amazing organization, showing their support at events, donating financially, and with their time. We want to give a special thanks to Eric and Alice for educating us throughout this year. This has allowed us to continue evolving our patient care and provide people within the community with compassionate and empathetic care through this unique approach. We also want to thank Jackie, Amy, Abby, and the board, as well as the rest of RAMP, for all that you do to focus on the disabled community. As you advocate for those with disabilities, so does Van Meter and Compass. We're looking forward to continuing this dynamic partnership into the future. Thanks so much, everybody. Thank you.
You all should have seen her tutu at the River Run. It was really cute. Next, I'd like to introduce Abby Franklin.
Hello and good afternoon, everybody. I'm Abigail Franklin. I'm the Project Search Employment Specialist over our Embassy Suites site. And today I have the pleasure to announce this year's Youth Leadership recipient. This award recognizes a youth or young adult for their leadership and dedication with students with disabilities. Just a little background on this individual. During his time in Project Search, he ran into many obstacles, from not having any documentation required to work, to lacking a stable home environment. But no matter what, he would always come to Project Search ready to learn. He ended the year with a full-time job in the maintenance department at Embassy Suites, and within a week of graduation, he had his own apartment. Last year, I had the opportunity to work with this Project Search graduate, as he had been designated as one of our main mentors in our maintenance internship at Embassy Suites. Initially, he had doubted his leadership skills, but as the year progressed, his confidence and ability to teach the new interns grew. He continues to be our main mentor for the maintenance department. His passion for seeing the new interns grow is evident in his daily interactions with our Project Search interns. He has truly given his all to ensuring that the interns are learning and growing while they are with him. Today, I would like to present this Youth Leadership Award to Darvis Northrup.
I didn't bring a paper, but I wrote it on my phone. My phone don't work. Okay. All right. I want to thank all you guys for who nominated me and for this award and invited me to this luncheon. It really means a lot to me. It's been incredibly inspiring to be a mentor for the Project Search students. And I enjoy working with them. It's good to know that that as they're learning, I'm still learning, and I always say, as we grow and as we grow up, we still have a lot to learn, and just stay positive, because you're not gonna get things on the first try, and just keep a smile on your face, and if you have a smile on your face, then you're gonna get through the day. But I just want to thank all you guys for inviting me to this luncheon. It really means a lot to me.
I think he is our best sharp-dressed man, huh? All right, next I'd like to introduce Janice Stowers. Congratulations on her most recent wedding, a week ago? So I'm still getting used to this new last name. Jana?
Hello, everyone. My name is Jana Stowers, and I am the lead fast track specialist for Winnebago, Boone, DeKalb, and Stevenson counties. It is my pleasure to announce this year's recipient of the Educator of the Year Award. This is awarded to an outstanding educator who dedicates their work to pouring into students enrolled in special education programs. This year's recipient has been an educator since 2007 and has been teaching at Harlem High School since 2010. She teaches the Adult Transition Program and is a strong advocate for her students. In the past 2 years that she has worked in collaboration with RAMP, not only has she connected many students to Fast Track and our other RAMP programs, but she has made sure that her fellow case managers and special education teachers know about us and have the resources they need to provide for students and families that are transitioning out of high school. She has truly been a voice for us at Harlem, and our program would not have been nearly successful in reaching students this year and last without her help. I am honored to present the Educator of the Year Award to Stacy Shahamet.
Okay, there's a lot of you here. Anybody else having a full-blown panic attack? Just me? Thank you to RAMP. Honestly, Jana, Ron, and Jeremy Munson has made this super easy. I kind of have them on speed dial, not the mayor, but them. And I took this job as the transition person 3 years ago, and honestly, I just called and I was like, help. We need to get our families and our students ready to be adults, and we clearly have a lot of work to do. And in my classroom, our themes are teamwork makes the dream work and progress, not perfection. And they have definitely helped me do that and to get our families prepared. You guys have a wonderful service. You guys speak for yourselves. You guys have done so much for our families already. I met Jana and Ron through a family info night, and we just keep working together, whether it's through Fast Track or Project Search. And I'm honored to say we have a lot of students involved. Thanks to my district too, who they are all here, board members, my superintendent, my principal, and my district level directors of special ed. They now know that I'm not in my classroom currently. I really appreciate they give their teachers the leeway to do what's best for our students, and they make my job very, very easy. But it's all about getting our students ready, and I'm excited to keep working. And poor Jana, she just met the loudmouth of the special ed department. So I've been able to express that out to everybody that I work with. So thank you again. I appreciate it.
All right, again, and congratulations to all of our award winners. Give them a nice big round of applause once again. Also, a shout out to all those who won the silent auction bidding. Make sure you check out before you just skedaddle and forget about your items, because we will take it. We will. And also a thank you to all those who participated in our first ever live auction. So thank you very much. If you were here last year, you may remember we recognized RAMP's CEO, Jackie Sundquist, for her 25th anniversary with RAMP. That's an incredible milestone that we should applaud again, for sure. 25 years. Well, this summer, Ramp also celebrated the 25th anniversary of the Freeport office, where Jackie started with Ramp. And it is my pleasure now to introduce you and welcome to the stage once again, Ramp's CEO, Jackie Sundquist.
Good afternoon, everyone. Just a little side note from my planned speech, it just blows my mind seeing where we are today compared to 26 years ago, and no wonder it's confusing for people to know everything Ramp does, because we do a lot. So thank you to all the award winners. So, back to my speech. So thank you for joining us today for our 32nd annual Changing Attitudes and Breaking Barriers Luncheon. It's a privilege and an honor to be standing before you to share the incredible work that we have been doing in the realm of independent living and advocacy. This year, we celebrate not only our accomplishments, but also the resilience of the people we serve. As we gather here, we must recognize that every person, regardless of their abilities or disabilities, has the right to lead a life of dignity, independence, and fulfillment. At our organization, we are committed to ensuring that this right is held up for all members of our community. Our mission is rooted in the belief that disabilities should never be barriers to achieving one's full potential. We envision a society where every one person can access the resources and support that they need to live independently and contribute actively to our community. Over this past year, we have been solid in our dedication to advocating for the rights and dignity of those we serve, and I'm going to just share with you a few of those highlights. First is advocating for barrier removal. Ramp has actively advocated for changes in legislation to enhance accessibility, inclusivity, and the protection of the rights of people with disabilities. We have seen some remarkable progress, but yet there is still work to be done. I would like to take a moment to recognize the hard work that has been taking place here in Rockford over the last several years. Representative Maurice West and Ramp Systems advocate Eric Brown, and yes, I do have his number on speed dial, has spent countless hours establishing the Home Modifications Program Act, which was approved and included in this year's state budget. Due to their efforts, along with a small team of advocates across the state, Ramp and 21 other centers for independent living have been awarded $7.5 million to provide home modifications to the disabled and seniors across Illinois. This is huge. Thank you. We receive requests, sometimes daily, but definitely weekly in all three of our offices, asking for assistance to get a ramp put onto my home, or my doorways widened, or a roll-in shower so that someone can stay in their home. And typically we have little to no resource to recommend, and finally we will. So thank you, Representative West, who I've heard was not able to be here today, and Eric, for all your hard work. Second, Ramp continued throughout all the chaos of the last several years to provide crucial support services to individuals and families in need. This includes guidance on navigating complex healthcare systems, moving people out of nursing homes and other institutions, securing accessible housing, and connecting people with educational and employment opportunities. Third is raising awareness. We constantly hear from our community that we need to be more visible in the community and get the word out more. Again, if you look at our program today, it's really hard to explain to every one of you what we do, because we do a lot, but we are definitely trying. This past year, our new awareness campaign has reached thousands, dispelled myths, broke down barriers, and promoted a culture of understanding. This will remain a top priority for Ramp moving forward. Lastly, empowerment. We have empowered thousands of youth and adults with disabilities to embrace their potential, fostering a sense of self-worth and independence. So let's look forward. What are we excited about? What lies ahead for us? many things, but I'll keep it simple. So first is to expand our reach. RAMP aspires to reach the unserved and underserved, ensuring that our advocacy touches the lives of those who need us most, regardless of where they live or their circumstance. We aim to collaborate and innovate. By collaborating with like-minded organizations and creating innovative programming, we will stay at the forefront of disability advocacy. Third, we will promote inclusivity in all spheres. Our vision includes a society where inclusivity is the norm, not the exception, and where people with disabilities are fully integrated into all aspects of life. Our staff have been extremely busy in training the community in the communities for other organizations, businesses, and community groups on topics related to disability awareness. As you can see on the screen there, we have a lot of options, and we would love to train you too. Last, we will enhance education and employment opportunities. We are committed to creating more pathways to education and employment for people with disabilities by equipping them with the tools and the skills they need to thrive. I also have another quick little story related to employment. As you might imagine, the ability to obtain referrals for our vocational rehabilitation employment programs nearly came to a halt during and after COVID, mostly due to the fact that state offices were forced to close their doors. However, I would be amiss if I didn't recognize the fact that a team of our local state representatives and senators came to the RAMP office not too long ago and gathered to hear our concerns and to hear the stories of the many individuals who were eager to go back to work right now, but they were not able to without state authorization. So these senators and reps joined forces, knocked on doors, and created changes in the system immediately. I think at the end of the day, we already knew some things were happening. We are hopeful our adult vocational employment program will be back to serving as we did pre-COVID soon. So thank you, Representative Sosnowski, Vella, West, and Senators Severson and Stadelman. I want to emphasize that our organization is not just about providing services. It's about building a more inclusive and compassionate society. Each success story, every achievement reflects not only those we serve's determination, but also the strength in our community. As we look to the future, let us recommit ourselves to the cause of ensuring that every member of the community can lead a life of dignity and independence. Together, we can break down barriers, challenge stereotypes, and create a world where every voice is heard and every person is valued. For each of you sitting here with us today and our sponsors, thank you. This luncheon raises funds that allow us to continue our journeys towards building a community that allows everyone to reach their full potential. Now, I get the pleasure of introducing our keynote speaker, Brady Johnson. Ironically, a year ago, Brady reached out to us, and it was actually the day after the luncheon, and he indicated to us that he was interested in getting more involved with RAMP and felt that our philosophy on independent living and our passion for an inclusive community very closely aligned with his. We have enjoyed getting to know Brady, and I know you will too. Brady will be sharing his journey of perseverance in the face of adversity in an ableist society. Where many might have seen a full stop, Brady saw opportunities to add more commas in his life's accomplishments that will leave you motivated by his positivity, persistence, and his humor. So please join me in welcoming Brady Johnson.
Great afternoon. There could be no better time or place than to be with you all, my family. First, I want you all to give yourselves a round of applause. Clap for yourselves. You know, I've been introduced as Brady Johnson, Staff Sergeant, United States Air Force. I've been introduced Brady Johnson, NFL sports agent. But the one statement and the title that I hear that I love is Brady Johnson, stroke survivor. You see, it's funny because as a kid, I grew up with a divorced mother, and my mother used to tell me, you can do anything, you can be anything. She just really didn't understand that I was going to try everything. Small rundown. While I was in high school, I played baseball, and I also played football. I was a singer, and I sung with the Pepsi Generation Singers. Us and Michael Jackson were the only two sponsored by Pepsi-Cola in the world. We had Christmas shows, and we had, telling my age, we had tapes. I then also was invited to work out for the White Sox coming out of high school. I played right field and I stole bases. I played college baseball at University of Louisville. While I was in college, I became a stand-up comedian. Well, I'd gotten to a point where I was able to open for a singer named Betty Wright. And at that time, she had a song out called No Pain, No Gain. So I opened for her in her concert. After college, I joined the United States Air Force. And while in the United States Air Force, I dealt with $74 million worth of classified items. I traveled all over the world. In 1996, I was involved in a terroristic bombing that killed over 20 and wounded over 500 of us. Well, back home, I opened up a company, and I became a sports agent. I represented 22 NFL ball players, 2 Harlem Globetrotters, and 1 Canadian Football League player. My mother still laughs about me about that because she says, Brady, what haven't you tried? And I said, Mom, that's your fault. You all know my name, but as a stroke survivor, I want to know all you all's name. So at the count of 3, I want you all to yell out your name. 1, 2, 3. And I heard the joke, see? I can hear that too. You know, my mother is a retired teacher. My mother has her PhD in English and English Lit. So my mother, while I was in high school and elementary school and until I was in college, my mother taught college. One day, I was looking at my mother's freshman comps, the papers, and I asked my mother, I said, Mom, why do all these students happen to have paper full of periods? My name is Tom, period. I'm from Texas, period. I want to be a doctor, period. And my mother said something to me that stuck with me for the rest of my life and continues to stick with me. My mother said, baby, these people and these students, just like most people, have periods because a period ends things, ends the thought. They haven't learned the ability to put commas. She said commas are something that continue. It's all about continuation. And I took that and kind of left the room. But things changed with a period and a comma in my life. At 31 years old, I was in the United States and I was volunteering to go see everything all over the world. And I thought that, serving my country was the best way to go. And of course, I told you I'd opened a company. I had 22 NFL ball players. And one day, I started having a headache. Well, I thought it was just stress. We had this thing called Afghanistan going on. It was a little stressful. I got transferred from a base in Kentucky to Illinois, Scott Air Force Base, and I didn't know anybody. Had sold a house, bought a house, so my head started hurting. And I thought it was just stress. Well, one day, after about 3 months, I ran marathons when I was in the United States Air Force. And so I had run 6 miles in the morning, and I had this headache. So I decided I'd ask the doctor if he had anywhere or anything for me stronger than Tylenol. And I joke all the time, so I told the doctor, I said, these Tylenol are like giving a whale a Tic Tac. It's not working. My doctor said, tell me what's going on. I said, well, when I roll over, I hear water in my ears, and I have pressure. And he said, sir, you have to go off base. So I went off base and got escorted off base, and I'm in the emergency room with my uniform on and people thanking me for my service, and I was a little nervous. And after a few MRIs and x-rays, the doctor and the nurse called me in and they said, we've got something to tell you. How do we say this? Houston, we have a problem. And I said, well, what's going on? Well, what could be the problem more than this headache? And they said, Mr. Johnson, for 3 months, you have been bleeding. You have a cerebral hemorrhage. Most people have bowel movements and they burst and they're dead before they hit the ground. As a matter of fact, the nurse kind of chuckled at me and she said, do you love God? I said, I love God. Why? She said, he loves you because you know what? You shouldn't be here. Well, I said, well, what's next? And they said, well, we need you to get all of your family together. I said, my family's in Kentucky and Texas and Cleveland, Ohio. And they said, we need you to get them fast because we have to do surgery or you'll die. At that moment, it was probably one of the loneliest moments that I'd ever had. I was in this big hospital room, and I said, I've seen the world. I've met millions of people, but I'm about to die all by myself. But during surgery, I had a massive stroke on the table. Now, I didn't really know what was going on. I was in coma, and then I stepped down from coma to ICU. From ICU, my question was, what's wrong? But I had something called aphasia, so I couldn't speak clearly. Well, after day 3 in the regular room, the doctor pulled me over and said, we need you and your family to come to the family room. So my mother, my grandmother, my wife, who I'd asked to marry me 3 months before that, my uncle and her parents, the doctor says, Mr. Johnson, I've got some bad news for you. Mr. Johnson, you have aphasia. You'll never speak clearly ever again. Mr. Johnson, I'm sorry to tell you that you will never walk without aid. You see, because during surgery, my whole right side went to sleep. And to this day, I cannot feel from the top of my head to the bottom of my foot. The doctor then said, Mr. Johnson, I'm sorry to tell you, but you'll never get to work again. We'll help you file for Social Security. He said, Mr. Johnson, you'll never drive again. And I said, why? He said, because your eyes crossed during surgery. So you'll never be able to read. You'll never be able to talk. You'll never get the opportunity. Oh, and Mr. Johnson, you're taking 43 medicines, so you'll never be able to make children. At 31 years old, that kind of shook me. Well, my mother comes into the room and I'm crying and I couldn't talk, couldn't share anything. And my mama said, baby, comma. And she left the room. Comma. Life's not over. Comma. That's what we all are, living by comma. Well, being told that, I ended up going to rehab, spending about 8 months in rehab, and as you see, I could talk. Well, that was the first victory for me. I could sing, actually, before I could speak, and they said they'd never seen that before. I could sing you a word to tell you what I wanted for dinner, but I couldn't tell you that word. Well, once I conquered that, I figured I could do anything, like my mother used to always tell me, right? So those same people that told me that I would never be able to talk again, here I am speaking. See, people say, Mr. Johnson, after I got out of rehab, and they told me that, Mr. Johnson, you'll never be able to work again. Well, there's this thing called aphasia that, of course, once you conquer it, you're able to speak. But sometimes there are things that are stuck in your brain, and so you don't say them. But I then realized what ableism does. Whether it be a friend, a family, or a foe, people tell us what we can't do, what we won't do, what we can't achieve. And like my question used to be when people would tell me, you can't walk without aid because you're not stable. How do you know what stable and unstable is? You have 2 working legs. Y'all can laugh at that because I'm sure y'all have looked at us before and walked and wondering how I don't fall over. Well, as time moved on and I got a little stronger, I got a job at Social Security Administration. So I was working at Social Security. I didn't file, I was working. And it felt so good to say, welcome to Social Security. How might I help you this afternoon? Because I wasn't on the other side. But you see, I was still a disabled employee. I was still Brady, still conquering things. With that talking, after that, and they said I'd never be able to read, I wrote a book that you can get anywhere in the world. It's called A Life of Commas, a soldier's story. And I wrote that more to prove to other people that I could still write and still talk and still live. Because you see, even when I was in the rehab center, I knew that I was going to be able to do this. Because I grow up with commas, not periods. Well, then I gained a lot of weight. I didn't get the opportunity to run marathons anymore like I used to, so I gotten big. And I wanted to figure out, what do I do to lose weight? So I went to a gym that has commercials on TV everywhere. I won't say their name. And when I got there, I started lifting weights. And as I was starting to lift weights, every time I go to lift, somebody would run over to me and say, wait. And it would scare me. So we're trying to help us and help myself. They weren't. They were scaring me to death. As I told one person, you can often, you might make me drop this weight on my body because you running over here and scaring me does not help. Well, what I ended up doing was in my 3rd garage, I built a gym. Now I have everything in the gym possible. Even though those same people said, you don't need to work with weights. I think you should just work with bands because it's safer. Safer for who is my question. You see, because they think we're not regular. But you see, we are regular. I tell people, like when you all were clapping, you all clapped, and by the time you all had stopped clapping, I had not made it to the steps yet. Y'all could have kept clapping. I'm a slow walker. But you see, that's part of ableism, is the fact that you think that we can't do what you can do. So when I started working out, I noticed I lost weight. I ended up losing 70 pounds in about 8 months. And then I said, you know what? I think I want to compete in bodybuilding. Everybody would chuckle. They didn't think I was serious. So my family, even my friends would say, Brady, you could do a whole lot of things, but you can't compete with bodybuilders. That's too hard. Okay, comma. So I started lifting weights, got a coach, and my first year, 3 years ago, I lost. I was in 7 competitions, and I was last every time. Last year, I was in 7 competitions. I won 7 times. And backstage is kind of funny because we're all backstage with all different categories. And I walked past a guy as he was talking to his friend or his coach, and he said, I don't believe this. I lost to a handicapped guy. Well, I just kept walking, but I just really wanted to yell out, comma. You see, because when you got on this stage, you were thinking, There's them, and then there's that man that walks funny, so I know I'm probably going to win, period. But I got on that stage and I said, I'm standing not only for me, but for everybody else who they say isn't going to make it. We're going to win, comma. And I did. Now it's come to a point where I've opened, where now we have classes in bodybuilding. They're called adaptive bodybuilding. So now we can compete, because I was saying the thing that we need is the ability to do it. But I know that we can do it if you let us do it. People say that you can't compete in life, but we compete every day in life. You see, we have a bigger thing, the bigger story to build for everybody else. Because, a lot of us heard stories that we would never make it, that we would never live to this point. They put periods on us. Somebody had told me that at 31 years old, people with a massive stroke and brain surgery, you'll probably live until you're 34. Well, I tell you, here on September 23rd was my 51st birthday. And had it not been for my stroke, I'd give him a call, but I forgot who he was. But I know that he was there. You see, we and my co-disabled, we are those that believe ableism is something that is too strong in this world. But I want you to know it can be conquered with commas instead of periods. See, when I won last year, and this year I have won 6 of the 7, I won first place or second place. But, growing up with that English person, that mother of mine who has her PhD in English, I've changed a lot of things that my mother thinks don't make sense. But once you hear them, you may understand a little more like me. Because one day I told my mother, I said, Mom, they put all these isms on us. Ableism, usually a negative thing. But I said, Mom, I want to put new isms on things. I want to put this thing called, with us, we have stick-to-it-ism. With us, we have no matter what you do, we can do it better-ism. We have that, is it my fault that I'm good at being star-ism? No matter what, we are conquerors. We believe in commas, never periods. Waking up every morning is a comma, an opportunity to step on ableism. One of the biggest things that I love to say is that our able is stronger than our disability. So commas. So today, if you cannot think of anything else, if you cannot remember anything that I spoke about, if you forget the fact that I was walking up and I almost fell on the steps, if you forget everything, I want you to remember this. Those with disabilities, we live with commas. I woke up this morning, comma. I have beat every odd, comma. I love being alive, comma. Y'all just come on the ride. We'll take you there with us. And one thing that I told my brother, and I've said before, just like Michael Jordan, people say bad things about him, and during the end of the game, they would always foul him. So those that come against us, brother, I want you to remember, they're always fouling the best player. Thank you.
Brady Johnson, everybody. Give him a nice big round of applause one more time. Outstanding. Thank you. Since I'm the last one using the microphone, I won't use this anymore. Again, thank you to each and every one of you for coming today. I hope you had a wonderful time, informative day, and I hope you make the most of your afternoon, comma. Please make a donation if you haven't done so already. You can use the QR code that is in the program or in the envelopes on your table. Remember, please take home a mom. It needs a home, $15. Use the envelopes on the table or the QR code as well. Get your ramp apparel as you check out. The auction checkout, make sure you have paid and got a paid receipt before you grab your item and just leave, because we will hunt you down. We have Mr. Brady Johnson on our side now. Thank you, everyone, for coming. Don't forget these mums that you purchased up front. My name is Steve Summers. Thank you so much for being here, and we hope to see you again next year. On behalf of RAMP, thank you very much. Make the most of your day, comma. Thank you.